Hello, my name is Liene and welcome back to my channel and welcome to October wrap-up. October was a great reading month. I got my reading mojo back and I don't even remember when was the last time I read this much. I read 11 books. I don't even know how many pages, but a lot of pages. You will see. There are only few short books, but yeah, it was great. I felt so good. I had 2-week vacation in October and in those 2 weeks I read 9 books. So most of the books I read on my vacation and it was so good. I basically did nothing but reading. So yeah, it was great. And since there are 11 books I need to talk about, I want to make this quick. I don't know how quick it's gonna be in the end, but I want to go through them quite quickly because I don't want this video to be too long. Mostly for me, because I need to edit it. Oh, and also, I participated in Spool Couple-a-thon in October and that was such a great time. I really loved that read-a-thon. The game aspect of it, the Monopoly side where you roll and go. So that's what I did. I rolled, saw the prompt, picked the book, read it, and then rolled again. I have one reading vlog from October. If I'm gonna remember, I'm gonna link it in the description box so you can check it out. It was great. I really loved that read-a-thon, and I don't know because of it or because of my reading mode or because of my vacation, but I read a lot. And I feel great. Now let's just get to the books. First book I read is something I have been wanting to read for a really long time and I finally did it, and it is Iron Widow by Xiran Jaizawa. This is a sci-fi. We have our main character whose sister went to work as female co-pilot for these robot thingies. So men are pilots and then they have female co-pilots. So her sister went, her sister died. Main character decides to go in her sister's footsteps to figure out what actually happened to her sister. But when she gets there, things change because something unexpected happens when what happens to most of the co-pilots in battles. Something different happens and so she changes a lot of things and things move forward, and yeah, I don't know what I expected of this book, but there are these big robot kind of things. There is a war happening between what I understood is alien species that are attacking them and they try to protect them. We learn more about the world. And this is, I feel like, I don't know if it's a duology or if it is a series. The second book is, I don't think it's out yet, but I'm definitely interested in continuing on with this. I really liked our main character. She wasn't predictable and she wasn't this good girl who does what is expected of her, and she doesn't shy away from doing bad things, questionable things, and I really enjoyed that. So definitely a great read and I'm happy I finally did read this one. Next, I read a continuation of a series and I read the second book in the Raven Cycle Quartet, and this is The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. I don't remember the first book that much. I remember some things that happened, but the 2 books I read in the series, this is my favorite, and I like the idea about the dreams, what is happening with those. We have a group of friends that meet in the first book, the girl meets the boys in the first book, and they form a friendship, and they are all different and from different backgrounds. So I really enjoyed seeing the friendships move forward and they figuring out things, but the basis that they are looking for this Welsh king. And I don't know how to talk about sequels, but I did really enjoy the characters and the story in this book, and as I said, especially around the dreams and what's happening. Now I just need to get the rest of the books in the series, the 2 more that I don't own, so I can continue on. But yeah, I'm glad I'm enjoying this because I know that the series is some of my friends' favorite series, so I always want to enjoy friends' favorite books. And as I said, I did Spookapalaton, and I got a prompt that I just needed a short book so that I can finish quickly. And I chose a poetry collection by Rafael Alberti, and this is, oh, I don't know how to translate it, Seaman and the Seaman on the Land, like not the fisherman, but the one who doesn't go fishing. What is it? Seaman? Seaman? I don't know. But yeah, it was okay. There are themes. A lot of these poems are about sea. And yeah, it was okay. But I really enjoyed the illustrations. I think the illustrations are really nice. I don't know, but that's the best part of this book. Otherwise, yeah, it's a poetry by a Spanish poet, and it was okay. Then a book that I was a bit scared to read because I wanted to love it, and I didn't know if I would, because I've heard a lot of different things, and I know that there are people who love it. Now I am one of those who love it. And I read Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is about Alex, or Galaxy Stern. She is hired by Yale University to be a part of this society who looks over and not really controls, but just, I think, looks over other secret societies at Yale University who do magic stuff, so they don't go out of order, like they don't do anything illegal or something that is not allowed. Because she has a special power, she can see greys that are ghosts, basically. In this book, they are called greys. There's murder that happens, and she is trying to figure out what actually happened. And then there is a disappearance of a friend, let's say it. And yeah, that also affects the story. So I really enjoyed the idea of those secret societies. It was really interesting to learn about those. But also our main character has been through a lot of things. A lot of bad things has happened to our main character in the past. There are a lot of trigger warnings that I would recommend you to look up before you read. I've heard a lot before I picked it up, so I wasn't really surprised about the things that happened. And I know that those things don't affect me that happen in this book. There are things that affect me. I know one particular thing that really affects me, but that's not in this book, so I don't need to talk about it. But yeah, I really enjoyed our main character. I need to continue with the series. I have the second book on my shelves, so I will definitely pick it up sometime, but who knows how soon. Next, another book that I've been mentioning a lot, that I need to read it because it's been on a lot of my TBRs, and I finally did read it. It is These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. This is a first book in a duology, and it is a fae book. That is what I said before. I feel like that's the only thing I knew about this book before, that it is a fae book. So we have our main character. Her sister is taken by the king of the Unseelie court, and our main character goes to save her sister, and she needs to make a deal to do it and find some things, because she is a thief. In her world, she's a thief. She's been doing it for a really long time, so she's kind of hired to steal something. And she learns more about Fae world. People have been telling her about the Fae world are different than the things she sees when she goes to that world. And yeah, it is about romantic relationships, about friendships, and learning to trust people and feeling betrayal and things. So yeah, this is first book. I have the second one, and I will definitely read the second one, though I've heard that the second one is not as good as the first one. But yeah, I really enjoyed the story. I haven't read a lot of fae books, but the ones that I have read, I feel like I have enjoyed. Definitely a book to read if you like faes and I did really enjoy the story and our main character, her character, how she finds things out. And some things were predictable, like you can predict something that is happening, and of course our main character doesn't see it, but some things were really predictable. But I don't know, they didn't bother me and it didn't affect my enjoyment of the story. Then I read a book that I bought in October because for Spookathon I enrolled a recent purchase, and I had bought this book like that week when I enrolled, so I didn't have any choice but to read this one. And it was Bewitched by Lucy Jane Wood, and this is a cozy fantasy where our main character, Belladonna, she is a witch, but she doesn't use her power that much, and she's turning 30, and in this world where there are witches, regular people doesn't know about witches, but she's a witch, and when she turns 30 she needs to go through kind of this trial to see if she's deserving of her power, and she kind of fails, and now she has 1 month to prove that she deserves her power. And this is set over in October, so this is a perfect fall book. I really did enjoy it. It took me a bit of time to get into the writing, but somewhere in the book I really got used to it, how the language is, and I really enjoyed the story about her figuring herself out and what she wants and what she likes. And also there is a romance in this one, so it was really great and cozy book to read in fall, especially in October, because it is set in October. Like the book is the whole October leading up to the Halloween. So yeah, and there's a cat, and she has a cat, so it was great. I really liked it. Next book I read was In the Ravenous Dark by A.M. Strickland, and this is set in a world where there is magic, but the magic is really controlled. Like the people who have magic, they need to be registered, and they are controlled by the king, and they are assigned a kind of guardian, but it is like a dead guardian. It's a dead person that nobody sees, only the magic people who is it tied to. So our main character has grown up hiding her power, her magic, but then one day she's found out and she's brought to the castle, and she's assigned a guardian, and things happen from there. I didn't understand the magic side of this world, but yeah, when she's brought to the palace, she wants to escape. That's all she wants to do. She wants to get away, and she's trying to figure out how to get away. And at the same time, she's learning more and more about the world and what the royal family is, how it is, and how the world is. Yeah, we find out a lot of things. And there were some things that I didn't expect. So yeah, it was interesting, but at the same time, I don't know, I wasn't blown away by this story, but I did enjoy it in the end. Next, another sequel I read, and this time it was The Hunting Moon by Susan Dennard. I read The Luminaries, the first book in the series, last year, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did, but it is about a world where, about a town on the edge of the forest where a lot of creatures live. And in this town, there is this society, the Luminaries, that keep the town safe. At the night, a lot of creatures awaken in the forest, and the society are the ones who protect the town, and they try not to let the creatures out. So our main character in the first one goes to trials to get into that society, and we follow her after that book. There's also the side of where her father was accused of being a witch, and he ran away, and her family was shunned out of the society because of that. Yeah, we follow her after the first book. There's nothing much I can say, but I did enjoy it. It felt slower, and for most of the book I felt like nothing really happened, but we learned new things about the characters, about the creatures, and I like that there are these inserts. Like, they have this book with all the creatures that can be in the forest. And we have, that is not an insert I wanted, but we have like a picture of a creature and description of some of the creatures that show up in this book, and like a description what they are, what they do, how they look, and I really like that. So, for example, here, I don't know, I like these extra things. But yeah, there is a third book coming out, and I will have it and I will read it. Next, I read a really short book. I read a children's book, When I Was a Fox, by Tanya Postavna, and this is a translation from Ukrainian. So the art and the story are from two Ukrainian women. One is the author, one is the artist. I really like the cover because I feel like it's screaming autumn. Though it is not set only in autumn, but we have a story about a little girl who lives with her grandparents, and she doesn't know anything about her parents. And when she asks her grandfather, she tells her that he found her by the fox hole? Cave? By the fox's home, nest. I don't know what it's called in English. But yeah, so she has a red hair, and she has like a hat with fox ears. So yeah, it is a story about her and her family. It was really cute. I really liked it. Next, I read a book by a Latvian author, and this is Nepieradināts putns, or Untamed Bird by Zana Zusta, and I really like this. This is about a girl who has never met her father. She once, when she was little, missed her father when he was there, when she came back from home, and she has always wanted to know her father and how it is to have a father. At the beginning, she's all grown up, and she receives a letter from her father that he wants to meet her, and he invites her to a meeting. And then we look back at her childhood and how she grew up. And of course, we find out who her father is, but I don't know, that heart-wrenching story of not knowing, but wanting to know who your father is. I don't know. I really felt for the girl, and I really, really, really liked this book. I also bought this book in October, and I even got it signed by the author. So I have personalized signature of this book. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, it's, as I said, it is a story about a girl, about a woman who didn't know her father, and now when she gets the invitation, she doesn't even know if she wants to meet him, and she's trying to figure out, should she do it? And yeah, looking back at her past and how growing up without a father was. Yeah, it was good. I really liked it. And then the last book I read was a bit of a disappointment because, I don't know, I feel like I didn't understand the book. But it was The Red Scholar's Wake by Aliette de Bodard. And this is a sci-fi, as you can tell by the cover. I feel like I love the cover. I think it is such a beautiful book. But I didn't understand the story. We have a romance in this book, and that is the part that I didn't really understand, because we have a romance between a human and a spaceship, from what I understood. Or I didn't understand something about the world. But the spaceships, they have avatars. They can have avatars, but they are like fully functioning things with feelings and emotions like humans. But they can be robots, they can be ships, and whatever. At the beginning of the book, one of our characters' ship is attacked, and she is kind of kidnapped, taken by the ship that is the other character of this book, and they marry because, like a political marriage of, is it convenience really, but it's because of politics they need to marry. And yeah, I don't know what to tell about this book. It's about them it is a romance between the main characters, the woman and the spaceship, and I didn't understand it. I didn't get how the world actually works and how falling in love with a robot, even though they have an avatar that you can communicate to, that you can even touch and feel, but at the same time, it is a spaceship you are communicating with. So yeah, I don't know. And when I looked up this book, it's kind of part of a series, but more like part of a universe. This author has a lot of books set in the same universe, and this is one of those, but I feel like it is not really connected with any other book, like by characters, just by the universe. But yeah, I didn't understand this book. I didn't understand the relationship, how it works actually. So yeah, it was fine. I read it, but I can't say I really enjoyed it, but I loved the cover. So yeah, this is it. I hope this was quick enough. I see that I have filmed for half an hour. It's not that much, considering I had 11 books to talk about, but yeah, we'll see when I edit what this is turning out to be. But these are the books I read in October. A lot of books, most of them, as you see, I did enjoy and I had great time reading. So yeah, these are the books. Please let me know in the comments down below one of the books you read in October and how did you enjoy it. And that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I see you in the next one. Bye.